What up, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching from. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Barryfx Academy. So today I will be sharing with you guys on the topic Forex trading sections. So we'll be talking about the topic Forex trading section, which is one of the key things that you have to know as a trader. You have to know section when to trade. You don't just have to come to the market to just trade randomly like that. You have to know which section you are actually trading in. Yeah, because everybody has section that suits them to trading. Yeah, so I will be taking you guys on this journey today to explain to you how and what trading forex trading section is. So let's go. Number one, we actually have four types of trading sections. We have four types of trading sections. So number one, we have the Sydney section, which is the Asian section. You can see the timing here. You can see the time GMT 10 p.m. from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. Then in Nigeria, if you're in Nigeria, Nigerian time, it starts from around 9 at the middle of the night, 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning. That is where this Sydney section, which is also called the Australian section, starts from. These are the pairs that is likely to move well during those hours. We have AUD, USD, NZD, USD, JPY. Those are the pairs that mostly trade, that mostly work, that mostly move perfectly well during this section. And this section, I don't know. There's some people do trade it, but I don't trade this section. I don't trade it because in this section, which is this Asian section, mostly most of these pairs mostly consolidate. They mostly consolidate because there is no large volume in the markets. There is no large volume in the markets. So it's always consolidating during this period of time at the middle of the night. I know a lot of us won't like to be trading at the middle of the night, the time whereby you'll be having your rest time, your bedtime, and other things and stuff like that. So pairs are mostly consolidating during the Sydney section, which is the Asian section also. So the pairs that actually move, if you want to trade, if you decide to trade, if you actually want to trade this Sydney section, the pairs that actually move then is, like I said, pairs to trade during those sections. You can see AUD USD, NZD USD, USD JPY. So we have the characteristics. Say the first session to open after the weekend. This is the first session to open after the weekend. It opens 11 p.m. on Sunday night. Yes, it opens around 11 p.m. on Sunday night. So it's the first session to open every weekend. It's the first session to open every weekend. So it has lower volatility, price movement often slow. You can see it. These are the characteristics. It has lower volatility. It doesn't move fast. It always most times it always range. But if he wants to move, maybe there is a news that is happening during that hour, and that news is so powerful that maybe pushes the market. If not, during this section, price is always consolidating. There's always lower volatility in the market, and you won't want to trade on that time because people mostly get cut off during this lower volatility time, during this Asian section. So it's not actually advisable to trade at that sections. It's not advisable to trade in this section because it's always very dangerous. Even the spread alone can take you off. The spread alone, the spread is always way too high during that time. That is around 11 p.m. in the night. So we also have set a tone of early market sentiment. So like I said, it's not I won't advise you to be trading at this Sydney session because markets won't be giving you what you want, and I know what you want is the intention you have whenever you're coming to trade is to make money. So if you come during this session to trade, I don't think you'll be getting what you want. I don't think you'll be getting what you want. So I advise you should stay tuned and wait for a better session to trade. So number 2, we have the Tokyo section, which is the Japan. It's still an Asian section. This starts from 1 a.m. Nigerian time, then GMT 12 a.m. So this Tokyo section is also an Asian section, still the middle of the night. It is also an Asian section. This is Tokyo, Japan. Yeah, this is majorly when Japan market people in Japan are trading, doing other stuff like that. So, and also this section, which is also an Asian section, is it has low volatility also. It doesn't move fast. It also range. The same thing as the Sydney section, because the both of them are Asian section. But people doesn't recognize that Sydney section. They only recognize this Tokyo section, which is they just use it as Asian section. They don't even name it because the both of them does the same thing. The both of them consolidate, and these are the pair. But this one is a little bit better than the Sydney section. The pairs you can trade during those period, which is around 1 a.m. in the morning if you're in Nigeria, or if you're in any other country, you can check it yourself. The pairs that is suitable to trade in those period are USD JPY, Euro JPY, and Euro JPY and GBP JPY. So those are the pairs that are suitable to trade at those period of time. So we have the characteristic. It has, see the characteristic. It has moderate liquidity. So the markets at least move a little bit in this. Yeah, a lot of people trade during this time. Most people trade during this time. Yeah, the market actually moves a little bit, but not that much. But often it always consolidates during this session, during this hour. It always consolidates. So it starts from 1 a.m. in the morning to 10 a.m. So name pairs are very active during this period. Most times, yeah, name pairs are always active. The pairs that has JPY to it, like the US JPY, Euro JPY, anything JPY normally moves during this hour. So, and it's also it's a often trend start forming here that may extend into London section. Yes, it also extend into the London section, this particular Tokyo section. It extend into the London section because the London section, I think it starts by 8 in the morning. That is when I start trading. So this Asian section, I think I will show you guys an example of something like that on the chart when there is an Asian section, and I will show you guys when it's an Asian section and a London section, so you can see the difference. That Asian sections, they mainly consolidate. Yes, mostly consolidate, always. They consolidate, and people always take advantage of that. So if you want to trade an Asian section, you have to wait till London section. You have to always wait till London section. There may be like there's this simple strategy that I think almost everybody that trades Forex use. People trade the sweep of Asian section because they know that Asian section is always consolidating. So during this London section, market always come to sweep liquidity. Market always come to sweep off the Asian high or Asian low before it moves to its direction. So this Asian section is always consolidating, and they use it to trade as well. It's a strong confluence when you're trading. I will show you guys on the chart. So let me take it to the chart. So as you can see my chart, you can see this guy here from this high to this low. You can see all these
Good
points.
section. Let's move to the next one, which is the London section. So this London section mainly starts by GMT 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the evening. Then in Nigerian time, normally start by 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nigerian time. But I normally start trading by 8. So this is the section I normally trade. A lot of people trade this section because this is when you can get high volatility in the market. This is when the big banks from the United Kingdom, all those big guys trading from those places, from Europe, those are the time they are coming into the market. So there is always high volatility in the market. There is always high volatility in the market. So pairs to trade during this hour, I think you can trade any pair at all, but not just any pair. You can trade Euro USD, GBP USD, Euro CHF, and Euro GBP. Those are the pairs you can trade. You can trade any pair with USD card. All those pairs are pairs to trade during the London section. And we have the characteristics: most effect and volatile section. Market is all actively working then. This is the most traded hour. I can think every trader trade during this time. Almost every trader trade during this time, because the market is very, very volatile. It's giving you what you want, and you are getting a lot of movement in the market during this hour. You are getting a lot of movement during this hour. It's a high liquidity due to overlap with both Asian early hours and New York early hours. So it has been combined, both the Asian early hour, because Asian closed by 10 in the morning. So Asian and New York are both joined together. So this section is more there's more of movement in this section because the both pairs overlapped. The both pairs overlap with both Asian. It overlap with both Asian and London section. So it's a major markets moving news and economic release occur here. A lot of news that happens during in the UK or in the UK, in the London, most of those news majorly affect the market then, because those are early hours in London. Those are early hours in London. So most of the news, most impact news they have during those time in the morning normally affect the market, normally moves the market. You can see in the morning, if you come by, sometimes if you go to the market by 8 to trade, you will see a long spike. If you didn't come early, or if you didn't come on your chart on time, maybe you came around 10, 11, 12, you'll be seeing a very decent move. You'll be seeing a decent move. That shows that a lot of people are active in the market that period. A lot of people are active in the market, and that is why the market is highly volatile during that time. It's the best time for intraday traders. It's the best time for intraday traders. This is when I start trading London section, which is the European section. This is when I trade. This is when I actually trade, because the market is giving you exactly what you want. It's giving you what you want. And there are people that trade only the sweep of Asian low or high, which is the strategy that I just showed you guys on my chart. Let me show you guys again. A lot of people trade sweep Asian low or high. You can see on this pair, this pair is called this is GBP DPY. Look what happened here. Drop again. Look at where what happened here. This. If you can see, I traded this particular, but that wasn't actually what I saw. But that was one of the confluence I used in picking this trade. That was one of the confluence I used in picking this trade. So you can see what actually happened during the London section. That shows you that there is more volatility during the London section. So it's one of the best time to trade. One of the best time ever to trade is the London section. So the last but not the least is the New York section, which is the American section. The New York section mainly start by 2 p.m. Nigerian time to 11 p.m. in the night. Start by 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. So the New York section, which is also called the New York section, which is the American section, one of these more volatile more than the London, and is combined during this period. Is combined with the London section and the Asian section. So during this hour, which is around 1 to 2 Nigerian time, the market is always very, 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 very volatile. Market is always moving aggressively because there are a lot of people in the market. There are the big boys from the Europe in the market, from America, from all the big banks, the JP Morgans, and blah blah blah. They are all in the market during that hour. So the market is always very, very, very active during this New York section. It's one of the most active. It's one of the most active section ever, because it's combined together with the London section and the New York section. So the pairs you should be trading during that hour, I think you can trade any pair during this hour. You can trade any pair. You can trade any major pairs during this hour. There's pairs to trade as well. You can see Euro USD, GBP USD, USD CAD, and USD CHF. Those are the pairs that you can trade those in this hour, in this period of time. So a lot of people also trade this New York section, but there are some other people that only trade during the London section, and after the London section, they are done for the day. And there are people that also trade this New York section, only the New York section. There are also people that trade both the New York section and the London section. I trade the London section and also the New York section. So it's very, very important for you to know the section you want to trade. When you want to trade, you can't just randomly come into the market anytime you like without knowing when is good and when the market is suitable for you to trade. So you can see the characteristics. You say it's very volatile during overlap with London section and the New York. They are both overlap, both the London section and the New York section. At that time, they are both on. The London section is still active and the New York section is still active. So the market is always very, 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 very active during this period. After London section close, volatility slows down. Whenever London section closes, the volatility actually slows down. It slows down because one section has gone and it's remaining one section. So the volatility reduces a little bit. Understand? So the volatility reduces a little bit. Is it major US economies data impacts the market heavily, which is the NFP, one of the biggest news ever. We have the CPI, we have the FOMC. Those are the biggest news that affect the market during this New York section. Those are the big news that affect this New York section that made the market move very faster and incredible. So, and I will be explaining what NFP, CPI, and FOMC means to you guys. So, New York section is one of the most volatile section ever because it's combined with the London section, and London section is also very, very volatile. I said from the Asian section is always ranging, and the London section is always very active. It's active. It's always very active, which is the time I normally trade. And the New York section, because it's combined with it's overlapped with the London section and the New York section, is very, 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 very active during the New York section because it's both combined, both the London and the New York. And the New York section slows down whenever the London section is closed. The volatility slows down. So let me quickly explain to you guys what NFP, CPI, and the FOMC means, because they are very high impact news that we should know about. So NFP, it simply means non-farm payrolls. That is the full meaning. This is one of the very, very dangerous uh, news. It mainly happens during the every first Friday of every month. That is when it usually happens, and it happened around 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time. I think it's 1:30. Sometimes they shift it to 2:30, but it mostly happen during these two times. So it's every first Friday of the month. That is when NFP always happen, and that is the day we normally get one of the biggest move in the market. It's very, very dangerous. I don't advise any newbie to be trading NFP because it's very, very, it can wipe off the whole of your account. In just a minute, it can wipe off the whole of your account if you were trading and you didn't put your stop loss, and maybe the trade goes against you. And this news can make you a lot of money. Still, yet it can make you lose a lot of money. So it's very, very, very important you don't even trade this NIP because it's not advisable. Understand? It's not advisable for any newbie to go into the market because there are sometimes whenever the market buys and sell during the NFP, there are some situation like that. The market will spike up and spike down back. So even if you were buying, it will take you out, or it will take both sellers and buyers out. So it's very, 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 very risky to trade the NFP if you don't understand it. But if you understand how to trade the NFP, yeah, you can go into it and trade it. So it impacts the forex market. You say a strong NFP, more jobs added. You can read what is there. So it's not something. It's for people that trade news. So if you don't trade news, just stay away from anything NFP. Same as the CPI, which is called the Consumer Price Index. The Consumer Price Index. This is also very, very volatile, like but the NFP is more very powerful than this. But I don't advise, like I said, you have to get a proper understanding of this news before you can go trade them. If not, if you have a running position before any of this news, you can just tighten your stop loss or close your trade. Just close your trade and let the news go its way because they are always very, 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 very volatile whenever it comes to this NFP, CPI, and FM, blah, blah, blah. So they are all very, very, very impactful. They are very, very high volatility news. It makes the markets move aggressively during this news hour. Make the market always moves very aggressively. So you can see the impact on Forex is a higher CPI, higher inflation. Central banks may raise interest rate, currency strengthening. Whenever the currency is strengthening, blah, blah, blah. That. So you can see what is written here. Let's move to the next one. I don't want to make this video longer. I just want to make it very quick. Which is the FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee. You can see it's always very, very volatile as well, just like the NFP. It's just like the NFP. So you can see the meeting frequency is about 8 times per year. It only happens 8 times per year. You can see what's written down there. It's always very, very volatile also. It's very, very risky to trade during this hour. So I would advise as a newbie, you don't have to be trading news. Just focus on the normal time. That is why before trading, you have to check when there is news and when there is no news for the day before you move in trading. So it's very, very important for us to know our sections, when to trade and when not to trade. Very, 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 very advisable for us to know when to trade, when not know our sections. So in the week, in the trade in the 5 working days, which is from Monday to Friday, these 4 sections, those are the sections we look into. We trade, like I said, this Asian section always range, always consolidates. Then the London section is a section that is always active, that always sweep the high or the low of this Asian section, then sell off or buy off. Then I said the New York section is the most volatile section. The market is very more active during this section, which is the London, and the New York section. So you should take note of that. If you find these informations impactful, you can do me a favor by hitting the like button and also subscribe to this YouTube channel to help grow this YouTube channel, and also like the video so that the algorithm can push it out to people out there that are looking for something like this. So thank you guys. See you in the next video.